I'm just testing this angle out here. Welcome to a new installment of A Snack and a Story with yours truly. And this here is being recorded on, I believe, Wednesday the 13th of November, and it will be uploaded this following Friday. Anyhow, I'm testing out this, eating on this little thing here, because this is actually what I usually eat on, but I haven't ate on it in a video before. But anyway, I have here some chicken tenders and wedges there, and some sauce to go along with it. You probably can't see the food too well. That's okay, because really you're here to hear the story. So, and this one is a bit short, will most likely be a bit shorter, and therefore we'll have an intro at the beginning. Anyway, so, for this one, I'm going way back. Back to when I was about 3 years old, in primary school, which shall remain nameless for the sake of this video. But, I actually wrote this story down originally as a short story that I actually had edited by my uncle and aunt, who were actually professional writers. And, so much stuff has been going on that they haven't gotten back to me and all that. But anyway, so the story. This is about the time that I capsized a child. So I was in primary school, and I suppose it was when we were, I guess, having lunch or whatever, because usually we'd have lunch inside after we'd, I don't know, come in from playtime, or however, I can't quite remember how it was laid out, but it was something like that. Anyway, so the table was laid out, I suppose, if I were to get this book here, there were chairs all around this end there, and that end there, and there was one right here, and then another one right here, at each head of the table. Basically a big long table in the room, and everybody would be sat round it for lunch. If this angle doesn't work, I'll change it back up to my previous arrangement, but so far it looks okay from what I can see. Like I said, you can't see the... Oh, there we go. Look. Now you can see the food, kind of. But, anyway, so I was sat, my usual seat was usually at the head of the table, because I suppose I had special privileges since I was on the autism spectrum, and still am, and they just sat me at the head of the table. So, excuse me whilst I put on my watch here. So, And then it would, it would be like that usually on most days that I'd be sat at the table, and have my lunch there, all, all nice and such. But one day, I don't quite remember what day it was, but I suppose I had come in later after playtime, or however, when we would have lunch. I don't quite remember, but anyway. But I came in, and right away I noticed that, get the book again, uh, children were sat round that end, round here, and this spot here, where I would usually be sat, there was this fair-haired boy. I can't quite remember what he looked like, but I believe he was fair-haired, blonde, for whoever, and I believe he had very pale skin as well. But he was sat there in my seat. And then I said to myself, of course not at the time because I was little, what the hell's going on here? And then as lunch was being initiated, I was about right here at the table, and I went round all these people, stood right there. I looked him square in the face, said nothing, grabbed the chair by the bottom, and then just flipped the thing over with him in it. And then he was wailing and screaming and crying and all that stuff on the floor, moving around like an electrified fish. And basically I just took my seat there, all proud and such, very smug and all that, and thought that I would have my lunch there. Because after all, that was my seat. But anyway, the teacher and my mother, who was my one-on-one aide at the time, took note of this, and I was pulled out of class for the rest of the day and was walked home and lectured all the way there by Mum. Said, I can't believe that I raise a child like this, to do such deviltry and all of that. Though she didn't say that. She doesn't have the capabilities of saying that, unfortunately. But that was the general summation of her speech. And so I was taken home, and then I believe a few hours later, I think when the day actually ended, we drove over to his house so that I could apologize to him. So he stood out in the middle, he stood out in his front yard, and, I believe next to his father or something or other. And then, you know, we made up and all that. And after that, we pretty much became friends. Though I don't quite remember who this person was, and have not seen him to this day. We were friends after that. But, and I found this out later, much later, maybe about 2 or 3, 4 years ago, when I thought to actually put this story down into words. I found out that his father at the time was a policeman. So had we been like, I don't know, what, teenagers or something, or maybe even 10 years old or however, I could have wound up in custody. So it's a good thing that I didn't. Anyway, that's the story of when I capsized a child. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my lunch or brunch or whatever it is. And, yeah, I'll see you around. I'll just see you around, I guess.